Hey guys, Dr. Joe Borio, founder of Chiropassion Consulting. We're on the official Chiropassion Consulting vessel. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Intercoastal Canal with two unbelievable chiropractors, truly my friends, guys that are killing it in practice, Dr. Norm Colby, Dr. Tim Cummins. So Norm, you were talking about it, and Tim, we were just talking about growing our freedom, our wealth and such. So what's the mindset? Like sometimes people come in and they're like, geez, I can never do this, or I'm in a place right now that's challenging. Like, what's a couple of tips you give some of the people listening? Because you're doing it. Like, you guys are doing it, right?
Yeah. So, the first thing that comes to my mind is gratitude. Gratefulness. This is absolutely amazing. But I think you have to start with a vision for it. I don't know if you'll ever, Ellie and I were just talking about it. If you never see it in your mind's eye, you'll never see it with your eyes, right? So we conceptualized this years ago. That's why we got involved with getting coaching and stuff like that, because we aspired for great, just like professional teams have coaches, right?
Yeah.
We knew that if we wanted to go to the championship, we needed to go next level, even past what we were capable of. And so now it's paid off. And I'll tell you, there were doubters, right? There are people that said, oh, you're going to spend money on coaching, it's a waste of money.
Crazy,
so,
right?
Yeah. So, but all professional teams have coaches, and offensive coaches, defensive coaches. So we're blessed to be out here and enjoying this, and still aspiring for more. Thinking about what other opportunities there are.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, interesting. We're talking about boats and investments and properties and money management. It's interesting. We've talked so much about business since we've been, and today's just a warm-up day for our seminar, right? And we've done everybody up there up front, they're talking about interest rates and should I finance, should I get a home equity line of credit? So it's like we're a bunch of bankers. So it's interesting the personality of the group and how everybody's kind of flowing together and developing, just we're out here having fun, but we're all picking up information and learning. So
and mindset and shifting, right?
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I think about, like how much do we spend, Tim, right, to be chiropractors? Like you think about what you spend in undergraduate, and then you think about what you spend in chiropractic school, and then you get out, and no disrespect, I think some of it's pride, and I was one of those guys too. I'm like, oh, I'll try to figure it out myself. And I think a lot of us forget, success leaves clues, as Tony Robbins teaches us. There's principles to it. That's number one. But the other aspect of it is you don't know everything. You can't see. You don't know what you don't know. The lost to earn dollar, like you don't know how much money you're losing by not working and training and coaching with people you resonate with. And Tim, you've been coaching a long time, not just with us, but with other groups, and you've done phenomenally well. You just opened up another office. So what are some thoughts that you want to share that have gotten you to where you are, some ideas of success?
It's what you're talking about, because I was the same. I was like the brainiac guy in school, and so I always figured things out, and I had a real problem asking for help initially, and still struggle with that a little bit actually. But it wasn't, it's like, how many times do I got to run into the wall with my head with no helmet on until you start to figure out that it's who you're surrounding yourself with. When you think about our profession's great at isolating themselves. Like they get out on an island, they're going to figure it out, and it doesn't have to be that way. And it's so much harder when you have a group like this that you can pour ideas off of, and then like Norm was saying, it's like you're just sitting up there, you're not even in the conversation, but because these two people are having the conversation, you're like, dang, I haven't thought of it that way, and it's been a long time coming for me, just from the standpoint of seeing myself in a position of an owner of a business where I'm still working in it, but like, how do I get the ownership? How do I get the right people in place so that it's not dependent on me? Because it's all of the things that just messes with your mind so much, from if I don't do it in a way it's supposed to be done, or all of those things that we say, or even like being able to come down here having an associate. For the longest time, I didn't have an associate, so anytime you want to do anything, you're shut down, you're doing these different things, which is fine, you need vacations. But ultimately, like, you've got to make that next step on how do I make it to where I can become a business owner as well. And I think, because you don't get taught that in school. Like, we can move bones. There's a lot of guys out there that can move bones really well, and they're struggling.
Right.
Because they can't do it.
Exactly right.
There's so many facets to practice that you don't know. Right. You don't know, right?
Right.
And what I thought my first many years is, I was prideful. I wanted to figure it out myself. But then I realized that I'm older, right? Why reinvent anything? You know, just there's successful people, and so we're business people, we're bankers, we're entrepreneurs, we're accountants, we're painters, we're moving companies, right? There's so much more that the adjustment is just the icing on the cake of what I get to do, but there's so many things that are involved, and being in a big group like we have, you can say, hey man, what did you do about what did you do about painting? What did you do about buying or renting, or you know what I mean? So
leasing.
You don't have to find out
Build
the hard
out,
way.
right?
And
Investing, retirement,
time is
hiring an
against you.
associate.
Yeah,
Right.
time is against you.
Exactly.
And we're running out of time constantly. Oh, what did we forget? We'll go back and get
No
it.
worries. Hey, we had a little. No, everything's great. We had a little crisis. Somebody dropped a hat. And listen, building your practice is important, investing is important,
And
but you don't want to
sometimes
lose your boat hat.
That's it.
That's a problem. You know what I mean?
Not when you're 70 miles offshore like
Yeah,
us.
exactly. Well, guys, thanks for your tips. Again, guys, I'm Dr. Joe Borio, founder of Chiropassion Consulting. We're in Fort Lauderdale. Listen, we would love to have you part of our family, part of our group. If you're somebody who's looking to grow, if you know there's something more inside you that you want to certainly share with the world, not only as a chiropractor, but as a business person or an entrepreneur, well, you got to check us out, Chiropractic Consulting. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Dr. Tim Cummins, Dr. Norm Colby, and Dr. Joe Borio. Have a great afternoon, guys.